Hey Clashes, Root Riders are still the #1 strategy in the entire game right now, and you can even make them better with using Barchers, because they can replace the Super Barbarians and as well the Rocket Loons to make your attack even stronger. We're going to break down this strategy and see how you can improve your Root Rider attacks and 3-star any base, even Legend mode. And the first real nice thing about the Barchers is that you can control the pathing of your Royal Champion and avoid baits or keep her inside the base, for example. So for this attack, Dawa is trying to go for the Mortar Crusher, one of the most crucial defenses to have a plan for when attacking with Root Riders. So he's just going for that because it's quite exposed. He can use the Barchers to snipe the left side Mortar, but as well the right side Wizard Tower to keep the Royal Champ inside the base as the Royal Champ charge is moving along. For this one, there are quite some baits. The giant bombs make no sense, but I feel like most people have no clue how to properly set up traps because the Fox obviously is staying on the outside building, so it's not going to follow. Fox is surviving. He can keep cycling through his spells, and now it's the moment where the Royal Champ would have went for the Wizard Tower, but instead is turning around. He can take down the next crucial defense because that's going to be important for the pathing of his Root Riders moving forward through the base. Because with taking that out, he can now start at the far left side and just enter into the expo to the town hall and keep overgrowthing the core, so the entire damage is not really relevant for him. Another important thing now is, what about the other parts of the army? Do you need to copy the army one by one? No. I feel like a lot of strategies right now are really flexible with their components, which means it is about personal preference and about what type of bases you are struggling against, or maybe, for example, feel like they're super easy for you and your strategy. So, for example, for Root Riders, you have a lot of flexibility when it comes down to the Eternal Tome, for the Healing Tome, for the Rage Gem, and how you want to mix those up. And all of them have strength and weaknesses, and it as well depends on how you approach the base. For example, this one is the most common one along the highest pushers. The #1 global players using this combination as well. The reason is you are super well set up versus any type of base, especially poison tower bases are not giving you any issue whatsoever, where, for example, the Eternal Tome with the Rage Gem is in theory stronger versus double Rage Tower bases. So if you're struggling against those, you might want to switch to Eternal Tome and as well the Rage Gem. But then you have to bring a heal spell as well, which means you have less power in other parts of the attack. With this combination, the main weakness to your attack is the Mortar Crusher. Because if you are going to go into that defense early in the attack, it's really likely that you're going to lose not just the Warden, but as well the Warden ability. And that is really crucial. So it always depends on what the army compositions and army components are to decide how you approach those bases. So, for this one now, let's take a deeper look at how you approach those bases when you're actually using this combination right here, and as well how you can utilize the Barcher troops even further. Let's dive into the next attack. As well, one feature from the last update, like the hiding decorations, this is so cool. Like, seeing all of the decorations disappear, that is so satisfying. But hey, let's dive into the plan. One of the most crucial things for your Royal Champion charge, what you want to achieve, is interrupting the ring of the base. Any base is having any type of ring in there, the core might be different. Sometimes the inside of the ring is the town hall, sometimes a monolith, and so on. As well, as you can tell here, he's just going to go for the Rage Tower because there can't be a lot of traps. He utilized the Barchers to really speed things up and make sure the Royal Champion was able to push through the high HP merged defenses even quicker. And as soon as he's going to get the value, he's not going to risk it. Instead, he's just going to recall to not take too much damage and as well keep the Fox alive. Then, the next step is you want to start on one of the two beginnings which you have now created, which is this far right or the top side. As I've just told you, you are trying to avoid the Mortar Crusher as much as possible. That one defense is the biggest kryptonite to any Root Rider attack, and especially if you're not using the Eternal Tome. If you have the Eternal Tome, you have the flexibility of going into the Mortar Crusher, but with this army, as I said earlier, is going more with the more powerful, I guess, approach, where you have to take a closer look on keeping the Warden alive, because you do not have this extra safety, but you have the longer power which can the Healing Tome provide. Which means the Overgrowth, now the first one, is going to be utilized on the Town Hall and as well the Fire Spitter, which is pointing to this direction. So you're trying to shut down defenses which have a long range and as well can completely mess up your attack. as well as trying to create pathing, because this is something which is super crucial. You try to as well extend the Royal Champion pathing. If you were able to complete the cut already with the Royal Champion charge, you can ignore the pathing aspect. But if you were able to do it, then you can just go for high value defenses. As well on this one, on the back end, the Mortar Crusher would have had the chance to have a lot of impact on this back end, because there was the Minion Prince on defense close by as well, dealing a lot of damage, distracting even attacking troops. But again, with the Overgrowth on the back end, this defense has no chance whatsoever of answering the attack. And with that, when the Mortar Crusher is waking up again, it's already too late. The troops are close by and can shut it down within seconds. So I feel like the biggest difference actually between a bad, an average, and a really, really good Root Rider attacker is not really the Royal Champion charge. Yes, obviously that can be improved, and with better mechanics you can keep the Fox alive maybe, or redirect your Royal Champion and such. All of that is possible, don't get me wrong, but the biggest difference and things you have to learn playing this strategy is the Overgrowth spell timing and placement. That is the most crucial thing, because that spell is going to make or break your attacks when playing with Root Riders. It's all about pathing. It's all about keeping your troops clumped together so the Rage Gem and Healer combination can carry your attack. That is the crucial part. If you mess that up with having your troops splitting all over the place because your Overgrowth was not well placed, this is where your attack is going to go most likely completely the wrong direction. With that being said, let's take a look at another attack. And again, let's make sure that with magic, all of those decorations disappear. Oh, that's just so satisfying. It's so satisfying. But hey, again, as I said earlier, every base has some type of ring. This time around, the ring is around the monolith. So again, you try to interrupt this ring. Where he's going to do that? Well, on this far left side with taking down the scatter compartment, as well making sure that the Royal Champion always still stays inside that compartment, with the Archers on the outside flanking the defenses, taken care of right away. No rocket loons are needed. Really cheap on the housing space, making this approach even better than for Dawa in the end. As well, you might have already noticed that the names at the top is are changing. And Dawa is playing a ton of different accounts and farming them and such. And this means he doesn't have the even heroes upgraded fully on this one, or having the perfect equipment, because on this one he doesn't even have the Snake Bracelet. So everyone always crying about, oh, I don't have the perfect equipment, I don't have them maxed out, whatever, blah, blah. It is complete nonsense. It's just about a skill issue if you're putting it and blaming it on that. You just have to make sure that you're planning the attacks and playing and executing the attacks properly. That is the big deciding factor here. And, well, again, let's take a look at the plan. He used the giant arrow to trigger the Invis Tower on the back end, used then the Overgrowth to the perfect placement where he's catching the Invis Tower as well, so that Invis Tower cannot reload, as well catching the core, because the pathing into it wouldn't be that easy. Now, as he was able to close the gap, get closer to that monolith, this is now where the Overgrowth is going to wake up again, and this is now where he has to decide where is he going to deploy the next Overgrowth. Having the pathing into the town hall would take some time. This is why he's going to decide to Overgrowth the town hall, since that is a really crucial defense as well, making sure that that cannot fire back and his troops are staying safe from all of the damage. As well, making sure that the top side key defenses are Overgrowth as well, and the troops can close the distance and get into them, get close to them as quickly as possible. As soon as that's going to wake up again, then he can use the Earthquake and Spiky Ball combination right now, and the base is yet again gone. Root Riders right now are completely by far still the #1 strategy in the entire game. Try to add some Archers if you want to. As always, the link for this is down below in the description of the video. And feel free to give it a try with really playing around with those Overgrowth spells. Yes, that is the deciding factor on those attacks. Keeping your troops compact, keeping your troops together to make sure the Rage Gem and the healers can do the magic for your Root Riders and keep them alive, even in Legend mode where the defenses are dealing such a crazy amount of damage. Because I know for some people it feels like, hey, my Root Riders are going down within seconds. But some of those pros who are playing those strategies, it feels like the Root Riders are invincible. It feels like that the Root Riders are players like Dawa, Gaku, or whoever you want to name in high legends. They just have way more hit points, or they take less damage, or something crazy going on here. No, it's just because they keep their troops close together, and this is why they can keep the healing up and as well heal up versus the heavy hitting defenses which we have in the legend mode. But as I said, give it a try, see and play around with those overgrowth spells, and you're going to improve with this strategy in no time. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next Clash video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.